Hey guys, what's going on? So today I am going to do some casual painting. I just picked up my third most wanted pack and I've decided I don't want black and white Z-95s. I may leave two of them as being black and white, but I have a little mini Z-95 swarm I want to do, and I want them to look different. I want them to blend into the Scum and Villainy faction a little bit more, and I think I want them to look a little bit like this color scheme that we see here on the M3A and on the Crabbok fighter. So I am going to try and figure out what I'm going to do. I think I'm planning on leaving like maybe two to be Black Sun guys, because they do have the little Black Sun logo on them, so I'm going to probably leave two there. But for these guys, like, I'm trying to look at this color, and at first I thought it was like maybe a purple and brown or whatever, but I'm like, I think that's pink with just a really heavy wash over it. I think it was probably originally like maybe a dark or a pinkish color. So I'm thinking, I don't even have the colors for this, so I'm just going to pull out all of my paints here. I'm thinking we'll start with like a pink. Well, this is Citadel Emperor's Children. Maybe we'll do a little bit of that. I could do some Baylor Brown, but that's definitely too brown. This one's more green. I think it's going to be a blend. And that's going to be too green. Maybe a blend of Baylor Brown and Moot Green. Moot Green looks close. I might mix them up a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna pull out a few, do a little mixing. Right, so I want just a little bit of green. No, I'm not a real good painter. I don't have any kind of expert method. I just kind of rinse my brushes and put it in. Probably should have done this the other way around. I make a big mess when I do this. I just do that. Now, I will want a little more water in here before I try to put it on there. What I usually do in this case is I'll just dip my brush in water. I think that's way too light. I think even with a wash, it's going to be way too light. Even with a wash. So, I will add a little bit of Mechanicus Standard Gray. I think black might make it too dark. Let's add a little gray, which is going to darken that up a little bit. That might do it. That might do it. We're going to test this. Now, this is not really a good way to go about painting, especially a whole swarm of ships, because if I run out of this, I'm going to have to mix some more. And, I mean, if it doesn't look right, well then, goodness gracious. But I'm just having fun. I mean, they're Scum, so they're allowed to be a little, all slightly different, right? Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to try not to go over the cockpit with this, but I'm going to try and base it in this color. Now, I won't really be able to tell. That's kind of close. I mean, the light's not doing it justice right here. But I think once it's close enough that the wash might bring it closer. Alright, so here it is done. Again, compared to this, it's way too bright. It's dried. I went ahead and did a couple of them. This one I just recently did. This one was already dried and I put a wash on it. It's darker, but I still don't think it's dark enough. Still not quite dark. It's still more of a yellow mustard as opposed to like a brown. So I think this one I've already washed, so I'll probably just let the wash dry, because I know that once I put the pink on, I'm going to want to wash over everything and make the pink darker too. So I'm going to take these two, make them just darker. This one can be a little lighter. Like, you know, that's the beauty of it. They don't have to be uniform. They don't all have to be the same. I'm just having fun with it. And I'll see if I can... I might just dry brush like a darker brown over the top of this. This way it'll be like a little bit of both. Let's see. Let's see which brown I've got. Mornfang brown. That's going to be way too much. I want more of like a greenish brown. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to mix. So I've got Mornfring brown and Cabalite green on a hunch. It's just a hunch. I'm going to mix a little bit of these two together. Over here on a hunch. Try that. We'll see. I don't know how much of that one left. Okay, now that's looking a little bit, but it's not right there. So I'm thinking if I get this brush dry and dry brush it on, we'll take a chance. I'll take a chance. Let me dry this brush off. And so, dry brushing. You want your brush to be as dry as you can, so it's, you know, like you barely see anything come off anymore. And I don't really think that's the best technique for this right now, because usually you dry brush a lighter color over a dark. But I'm experimenting. I'm having fun with it. I mean, you can do it the other way, and obviously, because I'm doing it right now. But works better in like hitting raised edges. That's why it's usually better to like do something in like a dark brown base than dry brush like, you know, tan highlights. That is making it look closer. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep going like this. Alright, so basically I have put that dry brush / light coat of this brown mixture on Z-95s. They're definitely darker now, closer to this. I think I'm giving up on trying to get the exact match because I just don't expect it to happen right now. But now let's move on to the pink. Now, anticipating the same problems, I'm not going to go with pink. This guy's much too dark for that. I do have Screamer Pink, which is much closer, but it's way too vivid. So I'm going to mix a hint of Emperor's Children in there. So that's my plan for the pink. It's going to be just a little bit of this. Oop. Okay. A little bit of that. And the rest is going to be this. Ambush. Alright. Mostly that. So it's still very vivid. I have a feeling I'm going to want this real thin, so I'm going to put extra water in there too. And this is, I'm just wetting my brush and putting this in there, so wherever I paint over, it should be real thin. And I think that's going to give me the desired consistency. Why am I singing? Alright. Let's use this will be a thin line. We're just going to test it out. And it's being that I don't know exactly what my plans are here, let's try a little bit on the guns. Oops, well, that's on the bottom. Alright, so that's kind of the, yeah, there we go. That's kind of the color we're going with right there. And that, I mean, that's close enough. I think once the wash gets on that, it's going to blend it all a little bit. And yeah, I think that's close enough. I'm going to do some fun stuff with this, and I don't know how it'll turn out. We'll see. Alright, so here is one of them. Here's the other. I made them slightly different because that's the beauty of it. And here's my original guy that I washed, and that wash is almost dry now. He looks a little cleaner because I didn't put that dry brush on him. He might be the newest one. I might keep him the cleanest. I'm going to wash these guys, and I'll dry brush them a little bit more after their wash dries. Okay, so basically everything's done except I put a little gray on the guns and engines. So I now have my 3 colors. They look pretty close. They're not fully dried yet, but it's going to be pretty close to this scheme. Definitely close enough. For the gray, I went with Warp Fiend Gray, which I think is a pretty close match to the kind of gray they have in here. It's almost a bluish gray. This guy I left like that. I've got 2 more over here that I'm going to leave, and I've got this last one here. I'm going to have some fun with this guy. I've got a wash I haven't used yet. It's called Beal Tan Green. Never used it, so I'm going to do 2 things. Typically, one of the things you're supposed to do is you're supposed to wash first and then dry brush. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this guy with green. Ooh, that's cool. Just going to give him a little washing in green. Keep the Black Sun emblem on there. Just wash him in green. Looks kind of cool, right? Just rubbing it on them, putting it on there real thick. A lot of people water down their washes. A lot of times it's a good idea, but in this case, nope. I want this green soaking through. Very cool looking. And then once I'm done, I'll dry brush a little bit. I don't know what color I'm going to dry brush. Don't know what color I'm going to dry brush him yet. A little bit more. Alright, so I finished, well, I'm not completely finished yet, but everything's dried. I did a little dry brushing in white. And I chose white, like I did a really, really, really light dry brush in white just to make some of the details pop out, and I think it kind of works. I think we've got a good color match here. It's not exactly the same, but it's really close. So, and then the other guys, this guy did some different colors. I did a little blue and then a little white with him, and then the same thing here, a little green, blue, and then white. I'm going to do some more with this guy maybe later, another day. I don't know. But, yeah, so comparison. Here's our original 2. And here's everything else. So now I have some variety in my Z-95 swarm. And the last thing is I'm going to take Ardcoat here and basically just put a little bit on the cockpits to make them pop or make them glossy. And this is just your clear coat. And that's about it. See? Nice and shiny. It won't dry quite that shiny, but it'll stay pretty. It'll still stay mostly shiny when it dries. Ardcoat is a great one to have. There it goes. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment and all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks.